So I just got through watching the first two episodes of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and I do not know how to feel. I do not like the animation style. Love the voice acting. The voice actors they chose for a lot of the characters, absolutely amazing. Some of the new characters feel really unnecessary, and they could have plucked the characters from Homecoming. I'm thinking that's a Sony thing, why they did that. I mean, the football guy, you could have had Flash Thompson. He was said that he was a football guy in Homecoming. Didn't really show that in any of the other films, but who gives a crap? You could have just made something up, kind of like you did with the movies. Um, and then there's the Vulture's daughter, who's been replaced with somebody else. It's the right timeline for the Vulture's daughter to be around. And it was kind of stated that the Vulture's daughter is somebody he's liked for a long time. Now it's replaced with somebody completely new who isn't even from the comics, as far as I'm aware. Or if she is, she's been changed look wise so drastically I can't find who she's supposed to be. And if she is, she's a really, really minor character at that. Um, yeah, really odd. Some of the choices they have. The character from The Runaways, there's a lot of subtle implications with that one, which is nice. It's not ham-fisted with it, and it's kind of funny. The jokes she makes about it are honestly a little bit amusing. She's one of my favorite characters in it so far. Doctor Strange appearance and the Venom Craven, I think it's what it was. I don't know. The whole multiverse thing they just crammed in the beginning just to speed up the process, and then just start him as Spider-Man felt really odd and dumb. That was a big oh god, what are they doing sign for me, and it still is. Why are you I know it's the multiverse saga, but why are you cramming it in there like that? And that's like not even our Doctor Strange, or is it our Doctor Strange from 616? What? I'm very confused on that one. Um, Norman Osborn's my favorite out of all of them. They have Amanda's Cho, which I'm kind of confused timeline wise because he was stated to be like 8 or 9 by the time of Age of Ultron. I'm trying to think of how long Ultron to Civil War is. I think that makes sense, but he looks like he's in his 20s. Like he looks like proper comic book now Amanda's Cho. I'm wondering if he's gonna become the Hulk in this. I would absolutely love that, but I don't know. It feels like a weird spot to put him in. He makes a lot more sense in the current MCU. Hell, I'd take him over that version of Scar we got. I don't know. I do not know. And it seems like they're fusing a lot of things together, and it's just. I like the fact that Norman found out he was Spider Man really, really, really quickly. Like, second episode. And all the cameos, most of them, besides the Doctor Strange one, felt natural. And I know it was just like pictures and things like that, or Mandus Cho being one of the scientists. All that makes sense to me. So that was those felt nicely placed. And it is the team behind X Men, and they did an amazing job with doing that in that series. But this one, I don't know, especially since it's so heavily tied in the MCU. Some things really make you question and ask. And a lot of it, if somebody doesn't know what's going on, raised a lot of questions. I mean, I had my grandpa there, and like he had to ask too many questions for this really to pick up with a casual audience very well at all. If somebody who barely knows the source material isn't going to be able to understand the multiverse stuff, or some of the other aspects, maybe like stuff like Wakanda, or recognizing the name Cho from Age of Ultron, things like that. But I don't know. I do not have high hopes for the show. My big worry is that it will stop, just abruptly stop. Especially with Sony and what they're doing, I don't know how to feel about any of this at all. It is just really, really, really bizarre to me, and kind of worries me because every Spider-Man show, other than the '90s one, has like just taken a cliff dive after like 2 seasons. That's not true. Ultimate Spider-Man had a lot of seasons. I keep forgetting about that one, but yeah, I'm worried. This one does not give me high hopes so far. There is possibilities. I will still give it a chance. I will watch all of this season at bare minimum. But not feeling great about it. So I just got through watching the next 3 episodes, and it's a lot better. It is a lot better, especially after reading the comic book that goes with it. By God, that helps a lot because it fills in a lot of the details that make like why it's different from a Homecoming. Boy, oh boy, does that help a ton, in my opinion. Which I really think that should have been an episode 2, not a tie-in comic book. And like that jump bothered me so much during that episode. But that comic book fills in that jump, and I'm like, why couldn't that have been an episode? That would have made a good episode. I would have enjoyed that. And it honestly feels like a classic Spider-Man story interjected in the MCU. You know, like what we're supposed to soon get in the MCU now. This feels a lot closer to that, although he still has the tech upgrades and all that from Oscorp. So it feels like a good crossbreed between the MCU's take and, traditional comic book Spider-Man. I'm kind of enjoying it now. The whole beginning thing bugged me to no end. But, yeah, no, the Rhino was kind of fun. I know he's not the Rhino yet, but he was fun. Unicorn was an interesting pick. I enjoyed that. Dimitri appearing. If you've seen the Craven movie, you know that's gonna be the chameleon. Like, there's a lot of characters. If you recognize the name from the books, you can tell who they're gonna be. I can't believe I didn't recognize the OO as Otto Octavius. I feel like an idiot for that. Yeah, I'm still worried about this series' future though, because Disney is really rushing it out. So I don't feel like this is gonna get a season 2. I still would have preferred a continuation of the 90s or Spectacular Spider-Man by far. But it's not a bad Spider-Man show. It's just a confusing choice to make. At times, it almost reminds me, because it feels so disconnected, reminds me of some of those old Marvel animated movies, which is something that I quite enjoy. And with Marvel animation, I quite enjoy that, and I wish it was the same studio. And there's a lot of things, even back from What If, that kind of reminded me of that feeling. But this is the first project that has really kind of captured that. Overall, I'm kind of excited to see what the next episodes hold. The whole suit changing thing didn't last long, so kind of felt like a tease. I thought they were trying to tease something with the whole identity thing. Tying it into Civil War felt kind of, it makes sense. Yeah, I'm like, okay. The joke on some of them it felt like a little slap in the face to the books, but not really much people liked them in the books either. So, overall, I had a good time. Wasn't the best show ever, but it's not exactly bad by any stretch. So I just saw the next 3 episodes of the new Spider-Man show, and yeah, it's starting to dip again. I love the new Otto Octavius. That's just fun. I like this new Otto. he seems a lot more whimsical. He almost seems like the behind the scenes Spider-Man 2, uh, like, the actor behind the scenes almost seems like that. He's got like very, I don't know how to describe it, musical theater-esque presence, I guess. It was interesting. Daredevil's appearance, that fight was awesome. This batch of episodes had the best fights. Especially that Scorpion one almost felt like a Spider-Man version of the day the day Bane broke the Bat's back sort of storyline is what they're going for right now. Spider-Man finally gets his classical costume, so he's gonna have it in the last 2 episodes. All right. Tombstone looks like he's gonna get his abilities from Doc Ock. I don't know how I feel about that. The Gamma thing, I'm not crazy about that being how they attach to people. I don't know. Iron Man's appearance felt kind of unnecessary. Just kind of overall, these episodes felt meh. It doesn't quite get me as excited for the last batch, as I would hope. But it's not bad. It's just kind of there. Well, so I saw the final 2 episodes, and I'm not feeling a strong connection to the series at all. It is not the worst by any stretch of the imagination. I do prefer it to the Ultimate Spider-Man TV series. I do prefer it to the latest one. I forget what that one is even called. I've watched like maybe 2 episodes. I didn't like the animation style, didn't like the storytelling in that one at all. Animation in this one takes a little bit to get used to. But by the end, it was pretty good. Once you kind of get used to it, it almost reminds me of the PS2 game. I thought it was a very okay-ish series. The finale made the beginning a little better, and it hints towards not quite being multiverse, but maybe? I don't know. I hope not. Let this be its own. If you're gonna have this continue, let it be its own thing. I don't want anything else touching this, because it's not bad when it's on its own. My main fear is that it's not going to be on its own. It's trying to set up so many different things for the future of the MCU or Spider-Verse or whatever. They tease Peter's father. That's pretty fun. They tease a lot of characters with powers. That's pretty fun. Otto coming back. Pretty cool. Tombstone doesn't get his comic book look, but it gets the powers. That was kind of fun. The fight scenes, absolutely amazing. Some of the best fight scenes I've seen in a long while for a Spider-Man show. So I have to give it that. Animation's okay. Plotline, okay. I wouldn't be mad if this continued, but I'd much prefer a continuation of either Spectacular or the 90s Spider-Man show. So, yeah. Meh. Not the worst. Hell, I'd even say it's better than the new animated Spider-Man series. That's what it's called. It's the one with the Kingpin from the Daredevil movies. That's about the biggest reference in that one. And it has the guy from How I Met Your Mother playing Spider-Man. But overall, not a bad series. If you have the time, I would say check it out. If you don't, you aren't missing much. But definitely something that's not the worst and is quite passable if you're trying to watch something Spider-Man related.